Grow Your Business Pinoy? Have you been running your business for years but feel like you're going around in circles? Anak, parang stuck ka, scattered, and you're not quite sure where the next right step is and what it is. So Grow Your Business Pinoy is a book that gives you a clear, step-by-step growth roadmap. It's practical, proven, and built for the realities of running a business in the Philippines. Wala nang guessing, wala nang doing everything and going nowhere. Just a clear path forward. Finally, get your copy now, anak. The link is in the comment section. Hello, beautiful business-minded people. Kumusta po kayo? No, welcome to the exciting episode of our Meet My Friends series. So, ang tanong is, anak, ito ba ang dialogue natin? Sinasabi ba natin na, naku, maliit na bagay lang yan, simpleng pirma lang naman yan hindi naman ako magkakaproblema dyan. O kaya, ganito, no, pagdating sa kasunduan, pirma lang ng pirma. Nako, ganun po ako dati, no? O baka sinasabi mo rin ito na nag-usap na kami, hindi na kailangan pa ng formal agreement. Lalo na matagal na siyang kilala Nako, actually, dyan ako nadali. Sa isang kaibigan, nakala ko kaibigan. Kaya guilty ako dyan, no? Sa maniwala kayo o hindi, galing ako dyan. At baka naman ganito, anak, no? Siguro sinasabi nyo rin na madalas na, ako, simpleng complaint lang yan ng empleyado, hindi naman ako mauwi sa kaso. Nako, how many times have we said these words to ourselves, anak? Laging negosyo ang nasa isip natin, laging malaking kita ang hinahanap natin, kaya minsan, itong mga maliliit na bagay na to, yung kontratang basta pinirmahan mo lang, yung kasunduang verbal lang, no, walang formal agreement, yung mga complaint ng empleyado, nakala mo, ay wala lang, nako, that could be the very thing na pwedeng sumira sa lahat ng pinaghirapan natin. But what if I told you that protecting your business legally does not have to be complicated? Kaya today, we will discover kung papaano we can know your rights. So you will know the common legal mistakes that can hurt your business. Ano ba talagang rights ang meron tayo? No? So meron tayong isang napakaganda na napaka-special na guest who has helped countless Filipino business owners protect what they have built legally and for the long term. At ang kagandahan pa, negosyante rin siya. Kaya alam niya kung ano yung mga hinanakit natin, no? Kaya stay with us until the end kasi ang dami-dami nating mapupulot na aral sa kanila. Alright, I would like to introduce myself ng bahagya lang to the first-time viewers kasi baka hindi nyo pa ako kilala. I've been a business owner for more than 40 years. No? I've been a franchisee of Chowking for 18 years. 28 years po akong licensee ng STI College, plus marami pang other businesses that I will not enumerate. Maraming mga naluging negosyo at marami ring nag-succeed. Kaya ngayon, since naipasa ko na yung aking negosyo sa aking mga anak, I am now a full-time mentor and coach, helping business owners grow their business easier and faster. At dahil doon, marami po akong ginagawang videos. 3 videos per day po ang pinopost namin. At with the help of my team, tapos meron din kaming mga posts sa ating Facebook page at sa ating, meron din po kaming Facebook group which I will talk to you about later. So we are in most social media under the name of Mami Negosyo. Yan. So super excited po ako sa guest natin today. Ang reason kung bakit ko siya pinili, kasi alam kong maraming business owners, no, kahit na matagal na sa negosyo, yung iba walang masyadong alam tungkol sa rights at obligations nila bilang business owners. And yan, kung minsan dahil wala tayong masyadong alam, nagsisettle na lang tayo sa mga verbal agreement with our suppliers, tapos bahala na. Tama? Ang kadalasan, nabibigyan lang natin ito ng pansin kapag may problema na, ay nako, tulad ng nangyari sa akin talaga, sakit ng ulo. Kaya kapag grabe na yung stress na binibigay sa atin ng mga inaakala nating mga maliliit na bagay lang, yan, doon tayo nagsisisi, di ba? Kaya nung nalaman ko ang kwento ng guest natin today na hindi lang siya abogado or abogada, kundi isa ring negosyante na nagsimula sa sugarcane fields. Nako, ang ganda po ng kwento niya, no? Ngayon, meron na siyang sariling mga businesses. So, biglang nung nakilala ko siya, sabi ko, pwede ba kitang i-interview? Mabuti na lang pumayag siya. Kaya, wag na nating patagalin. Let us welcome my inspiring friend, si Attorney Eden Pusag. Yan. Attorney Eden, welcome, welcome.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Mami Ann.
Hello. So, before we dive into today's topic, Attorney Eden, can you share with our viewers a bit about yourself? Sino ba si Attorney Eden? At ano ba ang Pusag and Associates Law Firm? Anong specialty nila? And bakit napaka-passionate mo sa pagtulong sa mga business owners na i-protect yung kanilang negosyo at yung kanilang mga pinaghirapan?
Right. Thank you, Mami Ann. Hello, everyone. Of course, I'm Attorney Eden Pusag, and I am the founder and managing partner of Pusag and Associates Law Firm. It is based in Iloilo City with our satellite office in Quezon City. I've been in the practice of law, Mami Ann, for 20 years now, handling corporate, real estate, family, labor, and other special cases for clients across the Philippines. And of course, Mami Ann, aside from courtroom and boardroom, I also wear few hats. And I am the CEO of Global International Education Link Enterprises Company. It is an educational book distribution here in the Philippines. And I currently serve as one of the executive directors for BNI Western Visayas region, where I get to help entrepreneurs grow through real, meaningful business relationships. Just this year, Mami Ann, I also became a first-time author. I wrote my memoir entitled Sweet Legacy, tracing my own journey from the sugarcane fields to building the law practice and businesses I have today. But what really drives me isn't just the legal work or the businesses I have or even the book. It's the business owners that I get to walk alongside every day. I've seen firsthand how so many entrepreneurs pour their heart, their savings, and years of sacrifices into building something of their own, only to lose part of it or sometimes all of it because of a contract that they didn't fully understand or a legal step they didn't know that they needed to take. That's the heartbreak I never want any business owner to go through if I can help it. So for me, this isn't just about law, Mami Ann. It's about protection. Protecting what people have worked so hard to build from the ground up so they can focus on growing their business instead of worrying about what could go wrong. And Mami Ann, when people ask about what I am passionate about or my mission, it really comes down to one word. It's legacy. Helping people build something that outlasts the moment they're in. And as a lawyer and managing partner of Pusag and Associates Law Firm, my mission is to give families and businesses in Iloilo primarily, and of course the whole Philippines if given the opportunity, legal counsel that protects not just their interest today, but the foundation they're building for the next generation. And through my other business, Mami Ann, the Global International Education Link Enterprises Company, I extend that same mission into education, making sure schools and learners have access to the right books and resources because I believe every child deserves a real shot at their own extraordinary field, wherever they start from. And of course, as an executive director of BNI Western Visayas, my mission is to grow a business and professional community rooted in the trust and generosity, where givers gain isn't just our philosophy and one of our core values, it's how we actually do business with each other. And of course, and writing naman, my sweet legacy was really the thread that ties it all together, Mami Ann. My own story from the sugarcane fields to where I am now, and my hope that it encourages others to see that their beginnings don't define their ceiling. So whether it's in the courtroom, in the classroom, or the boardroom, or the pages of my book, Mami Ann, my mission stays the same, helping people turn their starting point into a legacy worth passing on. Thank you, Mami Ann.
Wow, so beautiful. Ang ganda ng kwento, ang ganda ng sinabi niya, no? Yung iba kasing mga tao, anak, alam mo, masyado silang kalat. They're everywhere. Pero ang kagandahan nung naikwento sa atin ni Attorney Eden is that kahit na nasaan siya, lahat nakatahiyan. And it is all about one word, legacy. Kaya pati yung libro niya, no, is entitled Sweet Legacy. Yeah. Would you want us, can you tell us more, Attorney Eden, about your book? Parang nakaka-excite naman to. Ano kaya yung memoirs na nandoon? Summary lang, para hindi walang spoiler alert.
Well, just a short information about my book. I wrote it specifically to help the generations, primarily these generations that we are having right now, and of course to address the future generation, because I really believe, Mami Ann, that learning is not only from the people we meet, not only from school, but majority is from the experiences of other people. And I cannot share my own experiences if I can just talk to anyone or to a crowd in a room. But if I write it down, even if I'm gone, it can reach the next generation to come, and hoping that it will be a helpful book to anyone who can grab it. That's it.
Yes. And it's a very good choice, no? Because sabi nga nila, we do not know who will read the books that we have written. Kasi, halimbawa, na ibigay mo, binili ng isang tao yung libro. Siyempre, hindi naman tayo nagtatapon ng libro. A book is a book is a book. So, they will put it in the bookcase or kahit na saan na where there are many, many books. And one day, you do not know na that the next generation will pick it up and will learn from you at the right moment, di ba? Because God can use so many things to talk to people. And as authors of books, God can use us. Kaya yon, no? So nice, no? Tapos, I love also what you mentioned about givers gain. Yeah, no? Because that is something that BNI really stands for, no? Diba?
Yeah.
So, to give, because once you give, you gain. Baliktad. Hindi, others kasi they want to get right away. But that's not the way things work in this world, no? So, to give is to receive. Just like Attorney Eden, no? I mentor a lot of people. Some of them cannot afford my rates, pero I still teach them and help them. And what happens is, ang balik, alam mo, Attorney Eden, sa mga anak ko, ang daming mentors na biglang namimit yung aking mga anak at tinuturuan sila para maging better than where they were before. And ako kahit na sabi ko, ay, diyan pala, no? Whatever good we do, it comes back to us sometimes, and most of the time, I guess, through our kids. Yan. Kaya, let's plant the seeds now. Yan. So, okay. So, imagine, anak, I'm addressing you now, no? Si Attorney Eden, hindi natin akalain na sa ganda niyang yan, tapos she's a well-known lawyer with so much, no? So much achievement. Ang dami palang struggles na pinagdaanan. Kaya, bago maging successful, kung minsan talagang dadaan tayo dyan. And of course, because she has been there, alam niya kung gaano kahirap ang mga struggles natin, especially when it comes to our rights. Okay? Now, I'd like to start with my first question. Maraming mga business owners, no, lalo na yung mga nanonood ngayon, na nagsisimula ng negosyo na walang alam sa legal side. Parang ako, wala din akong alam. Malay ko ba, I was a teacher when I started, no? So, ang dami ko ring mga mistakes na commit. So, what are the top 3 common legal mistakes that you see business owners make? Especially nung nag-uumpisa pa lang ng negosyo.
All right, Mami Ann. Of course, you are asking for the top 3 only, of course. So, number 1, Mami Ann, is this: no written agreements. So, you mentioned this a while ago. And many business owners, actually, especially when partnering with family or close friends, start out on a we trust each other or we will understand each other basis. That's the real issue that they have to take later on. But the real issue isn't trust, it's clarity, Mami N.
Mm.
Once the
Clarity.
business grows or a big decision or large sum of money comes into play, that's when different interpretations of the agreement, as we say, start to surface. Because it turns out each party understood things differently all along. So I've seen this partnership or some among family members fall apart not because of a lack of trust, but actually because there were never a clear written agreement on profit sharing, for the roles, or even the exit terms. And the second one, Mami N, is wrong business structure or improper registration. Because many entrepreneurs start as a sole proprietorship. I myself started like that because it's faster and cheaper. Without realizing this means there is no legal separation between personal and business assets. That also means that if the business incurs debt or faces a legal case, personal properties, even our houses, our cars, our bank savings can be exposed as well. So depending on the size and nature of the business, a corporation or partnership structure with proper liability protection is often the better choice. But this isn't something owners usually think about in the excitement of starting out. Okay? And the third one, Mami N, is treating compliance as a mere afterthought. Let's deal with that later, or let's just focus on earning first. That's the mentality or the common mindset of the business owners. So, but the business permits like tax registration and basic labor compliance shouldn't be a later concern. By the time they're audited or reported, that's when they scramble to fix things and end up paying penalties that could have been avoided if they had addressed compliance from the very beginning, Mami N. So those are the three common mistakes that I see, Mami N, that I can share.
Okay, thank you, Attorney Eden. No? So, tatlo lang yon, sabi nga ni Attorney Eden, tatlo lang. O sige, marami pang iba. Pero, yan. Pero kayo anak, no? Ano kaya ang mga legal mistakes na nagawa ninyo? O kung hindi man kayo, yung inyong mga kakilala that you are aware of, no? Meron ba kayong mga nagawang legal mistakes or meron ba kayong alam na legal mistakes na hindi ninyo alam na mistake pala yan? Okay, now let's move to question number 2. So eto, Attorney Eden. Isa sa mga pinakamalaking sakit sa ulo ng ating mga business owners is ang pag-manage ng employees, no? From hiring to firing. So anong mga legal mistakes do business owners often make when it comes to employees, and how can this protect them from future problems kung meron silang dapat na gawin? Ano yung dapat nilang gawin at ano yung protection na may enjoy nila?
Okay, sige, Mami N. So, number one that I can see is actually no employment contracts or job description. Yan yung unang-una kong nakikita. So, when expectations aren't clearly documented, it becomes difficult for an employer or for us, the business owner, to defend their decisions when a dispute arises, simply because there's no basis to stand on. This usually happens, especially here in the Philippines, Mami N. Business owners tend to forget the execution of the proper contract with their employees upon hiring. And the second one is not actually following. Yes, Mami N?
So, let me interrupt you. I'm sorry for interrupting you. No? Kasi parati itong tinatanong ng mga tao, ng mga mentees ko, kailan kailangan tayong magkaroon ng contracts? Pag regularization ba? Pero sabi mo ngayon, upon hiring. So, ibig bang sabihin, day 1 pa lang, may kontrata na?
Yes,
Yeah.
Mami N. The contract doesn't start po pag naging regular na siya. It is the moment you hire a person to do something for your company. Regardless, either it will be for a casual or for even few days. If it is covered by contract, at least that employee or that person should know ano ba yung expectation mo sa kanya and expectation niya rin from the employer. So everything has to be covered by an agreement. Hindi naman kailangan na talagang legal jargon na nandyan lahat, as long as andun yung terms ninyo why you hire that person to do something for you. Don't wait na kung kailan pa yung ma-regular. Although our law provides that even if without contract, if you hire that person for 6 months, that becomes your regular employee.
So, what I'm getting is that kapag may kontrata o wala, basta 6 months na, automatic regular na ang employee. Yun yung narinig ko. Yes. Meron ka pang sinasabi while I interrupted you?
Yes, Mami Ann. The second one would be that not following due process in termination. So the first one I mentioned about hiring. This one naman is when we do the termination. Because under the Philippine labor law, that's the twin notice rule that we observe. The first one is a notice stating the specific violation and giving employee a chance to explain. And it should be followed by a second notice containing the final decision. So, Mami Ann, even if the reason for termination is valid, if it isn't properly documented and the process isn't followed, the employer can still be held liable for illegal dismissal. So, another one is lack of documentation for performance issues. When an employee is suddenly terminated without a paper trail or prior warnings or incidents, it becomes very difficult for us business owner to explain the termination if the case reaches the NLRC, or what we call the National Labor Relations Commission. Here in the Philippines, it should be included at our 201 file. We call it 201 file. It's the master file or records of an employee where you keep all together the employee's contract or records, personal data sheets, as well as the employee's performance records. That will be your book of reference if anything happened with the employment. So the connection to protection here isn't about being a strict employer. It's about having a clear process that protects the business and as well as it is fair to the employee. So when documentation and process are in order, the risk of costly legal disputes down the road goes down significantly, Mami Ann.
So, mas mahal, ang parang sinasabi mo, mas mahal
Yes.
kung hindi natin susundin dahil mas malaki ang gastos. Totoo
Yes.
yan, because I remember my brother, nahuli niya yung kanyang driver at saka yung isang truckman na in cahoots, nagnanakaw sa kanya. Huling-huli in action. So, right there and then, pinaalis niya. Tapos, ang nangyari is, nagkakaso pa. Nagnakaw na, ninakawan na siya, kinaso pa siya.
Illegal
Tapos,
dismissal.
Tapos, he ended up paying more than 1 million to those two. Tapos sabi ko, ang sakit naman ninakawang ka pa. Tapos, kasi nga, hindi pa niya alam yung
How
due
to treat
process.
one. Yes.
Yes, kasi kala niya siguro, hindi ko alam kung bakit. Kung minsan, makikita natin yung ating employees, ang bait-bait. Yung iba, walang masyadong pinag-aralan. So we don't really take precautions, pero hindi natin alam kung minsan nasusulsulan ng mga kamag-anak. At because of that, pagbalik sa atin, napakasakit. That's so true, Maraming nagtatanong actually, Baka kung nag-uumpisa pa lang hindi pa kumikita, okay lang muna na walang business permit. Yan, tanong silang gano'n. What can you say, Attorney Eden?
Hindi po kasi basis yung wala pang kita para ma-register natin yung negosyo. Lahat naman po tayo nagsisimula sa wala pa talagang kita because that's the real essence of putting up a business. You start it right so you can earn later. But if you start it wrong, don't expect you earn. You will be spending more in a way actually.
Yan, kasi kung magne-negosyo, kailangan yung umpisa talagang walang kita, So, eto, may question na. Hay, salamat, may question tayo. Si Ellen Banggawan. Ma'am, question po sa termination process. Example, yung first notice niya was given noong 2023. Then, the second notice is 2024. At yung pangatlo is nagawa niya ng 2025. Valid po bang i-terminate kahit year na yung pagitan?
Depende po yan. Ano po ba yung laman ng notices niya? Kasi the twin rule po for sending notice is may valid siyang grounds bakit siya nag-send ng notice. So, if the differences between those notices are actually a year or more, meaning hindi valid yung reason niya to terminate the person, and because you allowed continuously that employee to work with you. So I don't think, but I don't know exactly what's the story behind, but when you send notice for an employee to explain something that is violative of the policy of the company or the basic law, it should not take a year or so before you get the answer to that. And then the second notice, if there is no answer, you have to put another notice, and that is already compliant. But taking you so much time, like more than a year, I think you have to revisit or get a counsel for proper consultation because we cannot answer completely because if we don't know exactly the story behind. Thank you.
Depende kasi yan sa violation, po. No? So what if negligence? Negligence kasi hindi niya nasara yung gate. Yan. Hindi niya nalagay yung kandado. Tapos nangyari naman after 1 year. Tapos nangyari na naman after 1 year. Parang hindi din siya pwedeng i-terminate, no? Dahil in between naman nilalagay naman niya yung kandado. Tapos nangyari lang once, no? Ano po? What do you think po?
Well, actually po, pag parang mga simple negligence lang naman like that, that's why we have still the power to do some precautionary measure. For simply lacking the gate lang naman po, and pinayagan mo pa rin siya for doing and continuously doing the job for the employment na nandyan sa'yo, pero hinayaan mo lang din, that can be also taken against us because pinabayaan din natin. If you think that is already violative of the operation or the business that you have and it can really ruin the business operation, you have to address it immediately. If you think that closing the lock or the gate will eventually ruin your business, then you have to address it immediately. Not just address it now and then leave it for a couple of months, and then once you see it, you will just talk again. When you see a problem, I just advise to address it immediately.
Okay, thank you, Attorney Eden. Now, ito namang isa. Paano po medyo serious yung nagawa niya? Kahit isang NTE pa lang ba, pwede na siyang i-terminate? Or dapat bang nakalagay talaga lahat sa Rules and Policies Handbook? And lahat po ba ng dapat na may tag-iisang copy ng handbook ng employees or isang copy lang po, then i-discuss na lang sa kanila?
Actually, depende po yan sa policy ng company. If the policy naman po is actually validly incorporated sa employment contract, you don't need naman po to give individual handbook because it's available naman po in your HR department at any given time they need it. But ang pinaka-law between the employee and the employer talaga po is the contract, employment contract. And the company policy that you can see at the Blue Book and the handbook, andyan naman po yan, available anytime. So, parang yan naman yung law ng buong company.
So, hindi talaga kailangang tig-isang copy. Ano po? Basta available lang.
Yes po, not necessarily po. And usually po, pag especially yung malalaking company, they hold trainings naman po even before the first day of their employment. Training muna yung binibigay nila for them to know what the company, the operations of the company, and the expectations of the employee from the company, and what are the things they have to follow, the policy, the rules. Lahat po yan sinasabi even before the start of their employment.
And it would help also po, no, kung documented na nakapag-attend talaga sila nung training na yon. Ano?
Yes po, kasama po yan. Yeah, but if you really want to put everything in place and to avoid problems in the future, it's easier to follow in the very beginning.
Yung pong first question niya, Attorney Eden, no, kapag medyo serious daw yung nagawa niya, kahit na isang NTE pa lang, pwede na po siyang i-terminate. Hindi po pwede, kailangan 2, 2.
Depende po kasi under our law po, may tinatawag po tayong valid cause for termination. Nandiyan naman po yan sa law
Labor code.
natin. Opo, sa labor code po natin. And depending din po of the severity of the action na ginawa po nung employee. And sometimes po, the law is our guidelines, but the individual company or corporation or business has their own separate policy. So, pwede po kayo mag-create ng sarili ninyong rules and policy, and then kung naka-indicate po doon that any violation of this such policy will be a valid ground for the termination of that employee, then you can use that. That's why everything has to be properly documented. Otherwise, even if you believe that is your policy but your employee doesn't know it, then you cannot use it against them.
That's clear, no? That's very clear. Okay, so lampas na tayo sa half ng ating episode today. So, is it okay, Attorney Eden, that we can have a quick break for group photo with our viewers?
Of course, amen. I'll be honored to have that.
Okay, so Sir JR, can you take over please? May team ka na, pero ikaw pa rin ang kailangan sa lahat. Anak, hindi yan team. That's just a group of people waiting for your next instruction. Team na Marunong is a 90-day guided program designed for business owners like you who already have a team, pero gusto ng may structure, accountability, at consistency na hindi ka na laging kailangan pumasok sa picture. Week by week, you will build a team that is stable, proactive, at saka self-driven. Kahit wala ka sa tabi nila, hindi mo kailangan ng bagong team. Kailangan mo lang ng tamang sistema para sa team na meron ka na. Enroll now, anak ha! The link is in the comment section. Yan. So, moving to our question number 3, bibilisan ko, Attorney Eden, dahil mukhang ang daming questions sa inyo. Maraming mga business owners who are not really familiar with contracts and agreements. So, what should they know about protecting themselves legally when dealing with suppliers, clients, partners, and even employees po?
All right, Mami Ann. So yes, many entrepreneurs, especially actually mga couples or siblings, mga ganyan, they don't rely on agreements. So yun nga, like kanina, we know each other well naman. So, but honestly, no matter how close the relationship, once money and business are involved, a clear written agreement is necessary. Not because of a lack of trust, but precisely to protect the relationship itself when unexpected problem arise. So, the key elements actually that we should always be clear in a contract, Mami Ann, is number 1 is the payment terms. Sabi mo nga, pag may order ako, dapat ilalagay dyan yung payment terms. So, the payment terms should actually reflect as to when, how much, and how payment will be made. Yan. And of course, the deliverables, exactly what each party is responsible for providing or doing. And of course, the third one, Mami Ann, that should be stipulated therein is the termination clause. What happens if one party wants to exit? Meaning, it's not only for the employment contract, but with the agreement onto services or delivering something, if one party would like to deliver anymore, or don't like to comply anymore. So it should be stipulated also in the contract so that they cannot end up on problems but still end up the situation na okay pa rin sila even if hindi nagkatuluyan yung negosyo nila or yung transaction nila. And another one, Mami Ann, is dispute resolution. How disagreements or conflicts will be resolved. Kasi sometimes hindi rin yan napag-uusapan. Yun nga, pag biglang ayawan na lang, wag na lang, ganun, di ba? So, hindi pwedeng ayawan lang. Kailangan ayusin natin yan. So, the contract doesn't need to be full of legal jargon, Mami Ann. What actually matters most is that it's clear to both parties and that it's signed before the work is or the transaction begins. Yun talaga yung sinasabi ko. Not after a problem has already occurred. Yung sa simula pa lang, ilagay niyo na sa dokumento. Hindi yung pag may problema na, tsaka lang kayo gagawa ng agreement. Yun po, Mami Ann.
Thank you for that, no, Attorney Eden. Can I ask you to elaborate on dispute resolution? Hindi po lahat sa amin nakakaintindi ng dispute resolution. Ano pong ibig sabihin nun?
Yan po, lagi po yan isinasama namin when we do contracts na hindi po kasi maiwasan talaga. More often than not, nagkakaroon po ng issues that has to be resolved between parties in business and in partnerships, things like that. So nilalagay po namin yan in case of problem, sino po dapat magre-resolve yan unang-una? Kailangan po ba internal muna within the management given the opportunity to discuss the matter? And in any event po na hindi po yan mariresolve within the company structure and within the parties na sila-sila lang, sometimes you have to reach the court level talaga. A case should be filed. And isinasama po namin yan sa kontrata that even the place as to where it should be filed. Kasi sometimes sa mga kontrata po, like you, Mami, and me, pwede po tayo magkaroon ng business contract and we are living with different places, di ba po? So, pwede po tayong mag-choose kung saan po tayo yung magiging venue ng atin pong case. In case po na mag-file ako ng case against you, I can choose to be in Iloilo City. Nakalagay po yan. So, also, kung i-exhaust po muna natin yung mga administrative level before po tayo dumating naman sa ganoon, and kung open po kayo sa settlement muna bago naman tayo pumunta sa korte. Ganun po yung dispute resolution.
Lahat pala yun kailangan nakasulat na sa kontrata bago pa mag-umpisa, lalo na pag partnership. Ano po?
Yes po. Opo.
Okay, yan. At dahil pinag-usapan na natin tungkol sa contracts, no, meron akong ebook na makakatulong sa inyo. Ang title ay Smart Partnering. 5 steps to make the right decisions for your business. Lahat ng simple at actionable steps ay nandito para matulungan kang gumawa ng tamang desisyon pagdating sa partnerships. So for today, $199 lang po until midnight kasi discounted rate. So take this opportunity habang naka-promo. Sa small investment para lumago ang negosyo natin. Grab your copy now. Okay, Smart Partnering, 5 steps to make the right decisions for your business. So, my last question kay Attorney Eden. So, Attorney Eden, looking back at your own journey, anong mga legal lessons na you wish every business owner learned earlier? And ano yung connection nito sa libro mo na may title na Sweet Legacy?
Okay, Mami Ann. So, looking back actually at my own journey from the sugarcane fields to building my own law firms and the businesses that I have today, one of the biggest lessons I've learned is this. Legal knowledge is one of the most underrated tools for protecting the legacy you're leaving behind for your family. Being a lawyer myself, I was fortunate to understand early on the importance of clear agreements, proper documentation, and knowing the law before making any major decision. But that understanding didn't stop me the moment I finished law school, Mami Ann. I continue learning every single day from the people I meet, from every experience, and every form of my own mistakes, because along the way I have my own mistakes, Mami, and I am not perfect. So that's the real discipline, living with an open mind, staying ready for whatever challenge comes, and because there is no such thing as I'm done learning. What I want to share with other business owners is this, Mami Ann. You don't need to be a lawyer to have this kind of protection. What you need is the discipline to understand the legal side of your business before it becomes a problem, and the openness to keep learning from books, from people around you, from the experiences life brings you. That's what real strength of a business is built, and the real strength of a legacy. That's really the heart of Sweet Legacy, Mami Ann. It's not just a story of growth from humble beginnings, but a story of discipline, of continuing learning, and of valuing every detail, legal or personal, that helps shape a lasting legacy. Life itself, Mami Ann, is the biggest classroom, by the way, and should show up ready to learn from it every single day, Mami Ann.
Yeah. So those are such powerful and inspiring words. Thank you very much, Attorney Eden, no? So and also for your vulnerability in sharing, no? Kasi yung iba pag nasa taas na, hindi na nila ina-acknowledge kung saan sila nanggaling, pero ikaw napaka open mo at napaka-inspiring. So this is from Rosario Enano. Sabi niya, sa contract ko po, may provision ako na kapag nag-AWOL, hindi niya na makukuha yung final pay. Is it legal po?
Yes.
Yes daw. May sumagot. What do you think, attorney?
As I've said, Mami Ann, we have a general law and we also have our policy and rules that is created by individual business and a company. So as long as it will not violate the basic law, then and you comply the twin notice rule that we are requiring, you notify the employee of that violation even if nag-awol siya. Kailangan mo pa rin siyang i-notify that because of that, this will be the consequences of the awol. And then you have to inform also our DOLE of that notices. And of course, the final decision of the company. So if that complies with the law, and you are not violating any other law that is existing, considering also the policy and rules of your company, then I believe that will be a valid ground for terminating. And as said, all the records of the employee should be taking into considerations. The 201 file that I usually suggest, you have to keep it so that you have a basis for that. So yung records, sometimes yung ibang company ngayon, mano-mano pa rin, Mami Ann, di ba? Or wala pa rin silang sign in or time body clock, ganon. So anong basis mo na nag-awol talaga siya? Yan. So dapat titingnan mo talaga yan kasi ang dali lang sabihin nag-awol siya, then what is your basis? So dapat sigurista tayo.
Kailangan may ebidensya talaga parate.
Kailangan sigurista tayo sa kiniklaim natin.
Okay. We had the same employee who stole from us. Trucking business din po kami. Should we just suspend them and then when can we terminate them? Kasi kami rin po, we terminated both the driver and the helper agad kasi we cannot trust them with our truck. Baka po yung truck na ang mawala next time. So ang tanong, when can we terminate them?
Usually po pag may ganyan pong violation, preventive suspension po ang ina-apply natin. So when you file the complaint against your employee and reported the same, meron po tayo, protected din po ang employer na to allow the person while the same is being investigated. Kasi kahit naman po saan, even if there is a claim or a case that is filed, everything has to be proven muna po. So that's why it has to go on the due process. Hindi po immediate yung termination. Babalik po ulit tayo sa 2 notice rule po natin. And then yung kung kailangan po talagang hindi sila dapat sa operation, then may preventive suspension naman po tayo na ina-allowed ng batas.
Thank you for that, no? So, I hope you got that, no? So, pwedeng pag nahuli yung nagnakaw, pwedeng merong preventive suspension habang nag-gather tayo ng ebidensya. Pero, hindi pwedeng you're fired kaagad tulad ng ginagawa ni Donald Trump. Kailangan meron pa nga yung sinasabing twin notice rule, twin notice rule, no? Bibigyan natin ng memo at para matanong sila ito yung parang na-violate ninyo, bakit kayo hindi dapat naming i-terminate. We need to allow them certain time to reply. Okay? And after that, we give our final decision dun sa pangalawa. Yun yung sabi ni attorney kanina. Hindi kailangan na i-retain sila. No, pwedeng preventive suspension. This is different. Preventive suspension is different from ordinary suspension. Yan. No? Okay. So sabi ni Arlene Lewis, we have the employment contract but did not stipulate the rules and responsibilities. Later na lang. Is it okay po ba 5 months then renew for another 5 months?
Depende po yan sa kontrata. Kung the same po duties nang ibibigay ninyo sa employee, kahit po ilagay ninyong 5 months yan, you are indirectly actually violating yung sinasabi natin na pag na-reach na yung 6 months, dapat permanent na siya. If the same person will be doing the same tasks and duties that you are required in the performance of the operation of your business, that may be a subject for a question. Nangyayari po yan usually parang kino-contract lang para hindi maging regular. But you have to revisit that. You might be violating something else in that process.
Ito naman, sabi ni Rosario Enano, no? So this is in connection with also the contract, no? So ini-issue daw niya yung contract for the first 5 months, but after this wala na siyang kontrata dahil supposed to be hindi na probationary. Should we issue a regular contract for regularization?
I would suggest po, it is also your sign of acknowledging that your employee is doing his or her job to your company. And one of the things that you can show to your employee is to give that notice of contract of regularization, because a regular employee has different benefits that can be enjoyed and avail in one company. So yeah, it's better for you to have the contract. The contract actually is a protection for both parties. It's a protection for the employer and a protection for the employee.
Yan, no? So, kontrata na lang, gawin na lang natin. Madali lang naman mag-print ng kontrata, no? Okay, so Glenn De Castro is asking, ang napansin ko lang, bakit ang batas one-sided lang sa workers? Kawawa naman ang maliit na negosyante na katulad namin.
Hindi naman po siya one-sided kasi yung batas naman po natin, actually pro-employee po talaga basically. Pero that's why we are required to really know kung ano yung pinapasok nating negosyo and to put everything in place para nga po pag may dumating na problema, kaya nating sagutin lahat yan at hindi naman tayo yung magiging liable. Napakasimple lang naman po ng mga basic requirements na if we can comply, mas may iwasan po talaga natin and it will no longer appear to you na one-sided yung law.
Okay, thank you for that, attorney. Ito naman si Riva May Tuico. Attorney, ano po ba ang pwedeng maging kinaibahan ng trainee to probationary to regular since lahat sila kailangan minimum wage agad ang sundin?
Okay, yung trainee po kasi usually, yan po yung title na binibigay natin in preparation for the job. Iti-train muna natin sila. Usually, it can run up to 3 months as a trainee. Yun naman pong probationary, it can run up to 6 months. And then, after that, yun nga, magiging permanent na po siya. Yun po yung differences niyan. And even if an employee goes through the process of being a trainee, it's up to the employee whether to hire that person really or not. Because that's the purpose of training. If you think after the training that you gave to that employee or to the trainee is not as satisfactory to you, then you are not obliged to hire that person. Yun po. Then if you put that on a probation, meaning you are giving that employee a chance to prove that that person deserves to be a regular employee after 6 months.
So, ang sweldo, pare-pareho lang. Yung
Ganun
po ang
po
question.
tayo. Basic po, ang minimum, we have to really comply with that, Mami Ann. But for training purposes, sometimes they can be allowed to have a training allowance first because it doesn't mean that you will automatically be hired. Everything has to be in proper document lang naman po so that you will not be violating anything.
Okay, no, sana clear sa iyo yan ha, Riva May. Okay, thank you. So ito naman, si Ashley is asking, ano pong responsibilities ng business owner sa isang probationary employee na hindi pa regular? What benefits are we required to give on day 1?
Ilan nating question, Mami Ana?
Ang dami pa po.
Marami pa ba yan? Actually, basic lang naman po. As long as you comply with the salary of that probationary employee, then you are compliant naman po and you have to report it po sa DOLE na ang status po niyang employee na yan is probationary. Kasi pag tumagal po siya ng more than 6 months, automatic nga po yan magiging regular. And may mga benefits din po na nakukuha ang regular employee na hindi naman po nakukuha pa ng isang probationary employee. So, everything naman po yan is under our law, and if you have your own counsel, as what we know in our legal practice, you have your retainer who can actually explain further. Depende sa business nature po ng isang tao or ng isang company, iba-iba po yan. So the approach may be different, and to substantiate po kung ano talaga yung need ng isang company.
Yan. Thank you, attorney. Ito magandang tanong from Angeli. Pwede din ba pong magpadole kaming mga employers? Ang empleyado naman ang ipapadole namin. Pwede ba daw yun?
For what grounds po? Usually, ang required lang po sa ating mga employer is reporting po kung sino yung mga na-hire natin, ano po yung mga status ng mga employees natin, and if we terminated them. Yun lang naman po yung mga reportings, and the closure with the final pay that we are supposed to be given to them, yun lang naman po yung mga reporting na kailangan natin. If you are talking about complaints against the employee, then it is no longer the dole po. So, depende po kung anong case. So, it's really a case-to-case basis po, depending on the violation po of your employee.
So, kung nagnakaw hindi sa dole po, ano sa police station po?
Diretso po sa police report.
Police department. Yan. Si Edeline Sikat po, ang tanong, are employment contracts ba ay dapat notarized? There are ERs na hindi nagpapanotary due to expenses.
Ang having a notarized contract po is making it a public document. So in cases that you will have to use that contract in court, then it's a valid document to be presented as evidence kasi public document na po siya. But for purposes of when you say about the validity of the contract, even if it is not notarized, it is a valid agreement or contract between the parties who signed the contract, Mami Ann.
So, hindi kailangang notarized. Okay.
The validity still exists, Mami Ann.
Thank you, attorney. Now, si Eri Yamada. What if there's an employee who should be terminated because they've committed numerous company policy violations? Even though there are documented records, one of the corporate directors favors the employee. So they always avoid disciplinary action. Is there a way to ensure that the employee can still be terminated? Who has the authority to remove them? Tapos, yung employee daw appears to be skilled at avoiding accountability. Despite multiple complaints, they are often able to present their side of the story in a way that shifts the blame onto the complainant because one of the directors tend to trust the employee's account. Disciplinary action is often not taken. As a result, the situation has become quite complex. What can you say about this, attorney?
In this case, Mami Ann, I chose to refuse to answer because I think it is already taken place in the company, and due to its complexity, a proper consultation with your lawyer is necessary because in this platform we are not allowed to give a full consultation advice in this platform.
Tsaka wala tayo nung mga details nung mga
Yes, I really cannot give you the full advice because I really have to know the whole story about it, all the details. So the best advice that I can give you is to sit down with your legal counsel so that you can say everything and you can have the best and final advice from your lawyer. Thank you.
Yan. Okay, thank you, Attorney Eden. Ito naman si Rosario Enano. Sa construction daw siya, ang contract daw niya ay palaging project employee contract. No work, no pay. Kahit po ba naka 6 months na okay lang na hindi siya irregular.
Ano po ito? On-call basis po siya? Depende po kasi. Ang number one basis po kasi for an employee to be a regular and to be considered regular kahit wala po siyang kontrata is that employee is rendering services or duties that is required for the operation of the business in its continuity. So logically, kung yun talaga ang dapat gawin ng isang empleyado para mag-operate regularly under normal condition ng isang business, basta lumampas po yan ng 6 months, basically, dapat regular na po siya.
Yan, no? Sa clear na answer, Rosario. No, kung ikaw ay talagang essential diyan sa negosyo ng construction, kailangan regular ka na. Yan. No, si May is talking about, sabi kung merong mga ayaw daw na mag-issue ng book, ng handbook, you can do e-handbook. Okay yun ano?
Yes
Na
po.
pwede
Available na
pwede
yun.
nilang mabasa para hindi na kayo gumastos para mag-print ng print.
Opo, available.
So, sinare din ni Anjali na i-copy din yung sa kanya and she gives them access to a Google Drive para hindi na mag-print.
Correct. Pwede po.
Si Maida Bautista, pag nag-AWOL po ang employee, may right din ba siyang magpadole if may reklamo siya?
Hindi po, as long as may basis po siya na dalhin sa DOLE yung employer niya. The DOLE will accommodate naman po, depending po on the basis na kiniklaim niya.
Okay, yan. Eto, si Rosario Enano, ito yung kanina sa construction. May project daw sila na pinastop due to world crisis. Mag-resume daw next year. Ang mga tao daw niya ay nag-stop working na dahil wala naman silang mapaglipatan. Ano po ang liability namin sa kanila? Sabi po namin na pag nag-resume, tatawagan uli namin or pag may malipatan silang iba. Yan. Parang ano talaga, kasi siya yung humahawak siguro ng project.
Ako po, the easy and best answer that I can give you with that is to inform the employees involved of the situation. Babalik pa rin po tayo sa notice natin. Basta palagi po tayo may notice. Notice po sa employee of the situation and notice din po sa DOLE. So, you can be given an opportunity to stop the operation temporarily. So, you will not be obliged to pay the salaries of those employees if the consequence that gave you that circumstances is beyond your control. Like the way you said na biglang na-stop because of this. So, you just have to inform the covered employees and report it to the DOLE as well as to the barangay where you are situated, certification stating therein that you are temporarily stopping the operation due to that cause that put you to stop the operation so that you have a basis not to be obliged to pay the salary.
Rosario, I hope nakatulong ito, no? So let us know if that was helpful. And thank you, Attorney Eden. So ito naman, si Mary Joy Saluten, na-mention mo daw kanina na maraming nag-uumpisa sa sole proprietorship dahil pinaka-easy. So saan daw sila pwedeng magtanong kung ano ba dapat ang mas okay na i-register nila sa sole proprietorship, partnership, or corporation?
Depende po sa nature po ng business and kung gaano rin po kalaki. Sometimes naman po, as long as manageable yung business mo under sole proprietorship, okay lang naman yun po. There is these consequences lang in cases of problems. Like I've mentioned kanina, na in cases na may bigla kayong naging nautang, yung company mo, which is under your proprietorship, pati yung sarili mo or personal na parang sa pamilya mo yan, madadala yan to cover the damages and the liability. But if you put it separately, in legal terms, we call it has a separate jurisdiction, personality. So when you registered it under SEC, even one person pwede naman na ngayon, not necessarily naman na marami na kayo. So, separate na yung personality ng negosyo mo sa'yo. So, kung ano yung liability ng negosyo mo, hanggang doon lang yun. Hindi na masasakop yung personal mo. Yun lang naman po yung the main distinction that you have to consider when you put up a business. Hindi po mahirap kasi kung sole proprietor naman po, you can advise, you can go to the DTI office, and for under the SEC naman po, they are so happy to assist you. You can just go there and inquire what are the requirements, what are the things you need to be done para ma-register yung negosyo mo. And free naman po yun. Yung mga registration lang po yung binabayaran. Pero the assistance that you can get from these offices, that's all free po.
Ano? Dami palang ginagawa ng ating gobyerno na hindi natin alam. So, lalapit lang tayo. And DTI, I have not dealt with SEC kasi kaya hindi ko alam. Pero DTI is one of the friendliest office.
Opo.
Kaya you always go there, especially sa kanilang negosyo center.
Pero yung itong mga negosyante po na ayaw na nilang pupunta sa kung saan-saan, that's part naman po ng wherein we can come in to help you with that. So from the establishment of your businesses, you can reach your CPA, your lawyer that can help you. Para hindi na po kayong pipila-pila doon, magtatanong-tanong. Yun. That's why we have professionals to help you. Sabi ko nga lagi, Mami Ann, in doing business, 3 tao lang talagang kailangan mo. Ikaw na negosyante, isang CPA na magaling, at isang lawyer. Then you will be all right.
Okay. So si Riva May Tuico, sabi niya meron kaming non-compete sa contract. Pwede po bang silang habulin dahil nag-apply sila sa same business as na meron ako?
Kung nandun naman po yan sa non-compete ninyo, then you can use that. Yun po yung sinasabi ko, the contract actually protects you and the employee. So you can use it against the employee and the employee can actually use it against. So if it's perfectly stipulated therein and there was violation thereof, then you can use it.
Yeah. So I hope nakatulong kay and ito. Lorelai Abinales, what is the impact of the new minimum wage on existing employees, particularly those already earning above minimum wage?
What do you mean by that? Impact po sa employer or sa employee? Kasi sa employee, for the employee side, the employer is no longer required to add more. Kasi kung lumampas na siya sa minimum required. Then for the employee naman, yun, hindi siya makakademand ng additional kasi nga lampas na siya doon sa required by the law.
Okay, clear. Thank you, attorney. No? Si Riva May, madaming tanong and I'm happy that you're asking so many questions because for every question you ask, the rest of us learn. Okay? So ano daw ang basis ng pagpo-post na is no longer connected in this company? Legal ba to, attorney, na magpo-post kami tungkol sa, etong si ganito, si Juan de la Cruz, hindi na siya connected with the company?
That is a public legal notice po. Especially, that is allowed, especially kung ang company po is handling money matters, na kung hindi nila ma-notify in public, they can still engage that particular employee into payments or collections, things like that. But before you do that, I would suggest that you were able to priorly to doing that, na-comply mo muna yung required for you for the termination of that employee before posting that.
Kasi delikado pag hindi pa na ayos yung termination. Baka illegal termination pa tapos dadagdag pa yun. Ano?
And for the employer po and the company to be safe, it also can be included in the contract that if you violated anything in relation to the employment, a public notice can be done by the employer. So it cannot be used against you.
Okay, that's nice. That's something new that I learned. Thank you very much for asking the question. Okay, so I'd like to break from the question and bring a question from our community page na sasagutin ko dito live. This is a question for me para makapagpahinga ka naman muna. Sandali, Attorney Eden, no? So, I want to bring the comment actually from Shaila, no? She's a member of our community. Sabi niya, nagplan na sanang mag-branch out, Mami N, kaso biglang matumal yung unang branch namin. So, thank you for sharing that, Shaila, no? So, we've been receiving a lot of questions of this kind from the situation na nabanggit ni Shaila, okay? So, andyan yung question na bakit kaya biglang tumutumal yung first branch? O minsan may nagtatanong, itutuloy pa ba namin itong second branch, Mami N? So, what I'd like you to know, no, is that we have a community where you can ask questions. This is a Facebook community. Ang pangalan ng ating Facebook community is, hanapin nyo na lang, no, The Malaya Entrepreneur Circle by Mami Negosyo. So you can join that. It's a free community and you can ask your questions. So maraming ibang mga questions pero for today, ito lang talaga ang sasagutin natin. Pag matumal yung negosyo nung first branch, I would not advise you to open a second branch, no? Kasi if you have been with me for a long time, you will know that there are 4 stages of business growth, no? Nag-uumpisa tayo sa masipag. Lahat tayo pag masipag nag-uumpisa tayo ng negosyo. Pero sabi nga ni Attorney Eden, importante is kailangan matuto tayo, no? Hindi pwedeng, pag nag-graduate na ng college or nag-graduate na ng senior high, okay na yun. Ano? Dahil importante, we have to learn. And even if Attorney Eden is already a lawyer, she still continues to learn. And that is what I'd like to invite you to do so. No? For masipag, if you want your business to grow, then you have to be marunong. So what does marunong have? What does marunong mean? Marunong is you learn how to stabilize your business. Kaya pag hindi pa maayos yung first branch or yung main branch or yung main store ninyo, hindi pa maayos yun, then you need to learn kung paano siya ayusin. Dahil after the marunong stage is the maayos stage. Ayusin nyo muna. Pag natuto na kayo, then you will have structure, you will have systems, you will be able to hire the right people para maayos. Ngayon, pag ayos na yung first branch at pwede nyo nang iwanan, that's the time you open the second branch. Delikado yon, yung first branch nga, hindi nyo pa maayos. Tapos magse-second branch na kayo. Lalong magulo, lalong mahirap, lalong kung nalulugi kayo sa first branch, lalo kayong malulugi. Kaya sana ayusin nyo muna. No? So, the masipag to marunong to maayos bago tayo maging malaya. Because lahat naman tayo, kaya tayo nagnegosyo, gusto natin meron tayong financial freedom. And for you to get the financial freedom, hindi pwedeng tumalon sa masipag. Kailangan matuto tayo kung paano nating aayusin yung negosyo. Tapos ayusin natin, no? Gawing maayos yung negosyo bago tayo pwedeng maging malaya. Alright? So sana nasagot ko yung question mo, Shaila, no? And for anybody else who would want to ask questions, kung hindi natin maitanong dito and you want to ask more questions from me, then I would like to invite you to join yung ating community page, no? The Malaya Entrepreneur Circle by Mami Negosyo. Since wala na tayong time, so sorry na lang, and we will no longer have the opportunity to ask si Attorney Eden. Yan. So itanong na lang natin sa ating chat box, no? So baka pwede nating ma-forward kay Attorney Eden para masagot niya. Okay. So ngayon, what I would want to do is to say thank you to Attorney Eden. So, thank you so much for the valuable insights, no? So, I just have to ask you for your final words before I ask you to introduce your offer for today.
All right. So again, thank you so much, Mami Ann. And of course, to all our viewers who joined us today, this is such a privilege to me. So if there's one thing I hope you take away from our conversation is this, Mami Ann, and to all our viewers. Don't wait for a problem to happen before you protect what you built. A little legal guidance early on can save you so much heartache and money down the road. So to every business owner watching, whether you're just starting out or you've been at this for so many years, what you built matters, and it's worth protecting properly. Don't be afraid to ask questions, seek the right counsel, and put the proper safeguards in place. You've worked too hard for it not to, diba? So thank you again, Mami Ann, and for the Business Pinoy, and for having me. And of course, to all our viewers, more power to your businesses. Until next time, and God bless. Take care, Mami Ann. Thank you.
Thank you. And if there are people who would like to connect with you, how can they connect with you? What's the best way po, Attorney Eden?
Well, I have my Facebook. You can see me. It's my name, Attorney Eden Pusag. And for my book, you can actually search it at Amazon. It's available there. And I think we can put it at the chat box also where they can grab the copy of that. And yeah, I'm available at Facebook, Mami Ann. Thank you.
Okay, so connect with Attorney Eden sa Facebook. So maraming salamat ulit, Attorney Eden. No, it's been an honor to have you here. Thank you, Attorney Eden. You have a flight to catch, so I'm sorry to have kept you for so long. So until then, keep shining and keep being business-minded, Pinoy.